the crux of our faith, young as well as old, is depending on Genesis 1:1. Because if creation is not valid, then the cross becomes invalid. If creation and the cross are worthless, then the church is worthless. And if creation, the cross, and the church are irrelevant, then our faith is in vain, and then are we men most miserable. The crux of our faith depends on the fact that God created the heavens and the earth. And evolution is nothing more than man's sophisticated attempt to change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image like to corruptible man. So the Bible contains enough scientific proof to substantiate that the universe was created by a supreme cause. Now I want to look at some scientific laws. Now you bear with me. I know this is not science class, but you bear with me here. The first law that I want to look at in science is the law of cause and effect. This law states for every cause you must have, every effect must have a cause. Now, the effect cannot be greater than its cause. Let me illustrate it this way. When I came in here, I saw this microphone on this podium. And not only that, this microphone is hooked and drilled in to the podium. Now, that is the cause. Now, well, that's the effect. So now something has to say in my mind that there was a cause greater than this pulpit that had to act in order for this microphone stand to be drilled into the pulpit. In other words, the pulpit could not drill itself. The microphone stand could not drill itself into the pulpit. There had to be a greater cause to cause this microphone stand to be in this pulpit. So we have to conclude then that some man, woman, boy, or girl had to drill these holes in order for this microphone stand to be here. Now, you have to understand that evolution is saying that from disorder came order. From non-life came life. From chaos came concert. But even Billy Preston understood the law of cause and effect when he's saying nothing from nothing leaves nothing. I know you've been saved and sanctified and you don't know Billy Preston's song, but anyway, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And Paul also understood it when he said in Colossians 1:17, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. See, when we look at our world, there is too much order for there not to be a great organizer. That's right. How do we predict the changes of the season? It's based upon God's organization. Not one time has summer come before spring. Not one time has fall come after winter. Every year we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. Why is that? Because God organized it so. You can predict the sun and moon on a regular basis. It's coming up in the east and setting in the west. That's because God organized it so. So you have cause and effect. Then there's a second law. It is called the law, it's thermodynamics. It's called the law of conservation, energy conservation. What it says is that energy cannot be created. It is just changes over time. It cannot be created or destroyed. It's constantly being conserved. And since it's being conserved, then that lets us know that someone outside of the universe had to initiate this energy. Now, let's look at it from this term. I was looking at my then daughter's second grade homework. And on that homework, they had the water cycle. Now, the water cycle works like this. The sun beats on the water, and water then evaporates, and you have evaporation. And that water then comes into condensation. And then condensation goes into precipitation. So you have evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. That's how we keep getting water all the time, is because God set up a process in by which energy is constantly going and revolving and creating, not creating, but just conserving itself over and over again. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse number 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse number 7. The great man Solomon understood this when he said, all rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return. Well, where does the river come from? The river comes from precipitation. Well, whether you get precipitation from condensation, whether you get condensation from evaporation, it's all in God's cycle. When you look at, what is that movie? Oh, what's that? The Lion King. Some of y'all seen The Lion King? What did they call it? The circle of life. See that? You don't even have to worry about God. He continues everything in his own process. Then now, let me go on and talk about this other law. It's the law of entropy. The law of entropy. E-N-T-R-O-P-Y. And this law says that everything is decaying. Everything goes from order to disorder. And so David recognized it in Psalms 102, verse number 25 and 26. Psalm 102, 25 and 26. What the Bible says, of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish. What shall perish? The earth and the heavens. But thou shalt endure. Yea, all of them what? The heavens, the earth, the works of his hand shall wax old like a garment. As a vesture thou shalt change them, and they shall be changed. David recognized in Psalm 102 that the earth was growing old, and it was growing old like a garment. Now, not only did David recognize it, but Isaiah recognized it. In Isaiah 51 and verse number 5, Isaiah 51 and verse number 5, the Bible says, lift up your eyes to the heavens and look upon the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. See, the reason that we need new clothes is not necessarily because you gained a little weight like I have. But sometimes we need new clothes because the clothes that we wear wax old. In other words, the fabric becomes weak. The fabric becomes discolored. And so now you need a new garment. And the Bible and David and Isaiah is showing us that the reason that that you have pains in your old age, and some of you are holding on to riding with arthritis, brothers. That's because You are growing old, waxing old, I'm sorry, like a garment. The reason why some of us hair is turning gray and some of it is turning loose is because we're waxing old like a garment. And the very fact that we're waxing old is the very indicator that is telling us that we are created beings that are going back